Hi everybody, it's Reuben. Today we have a little special guest.
Hello, I'm Puds. Welcome to Firo with friends.
Or friend.
Or friend, yeah, just me, right? So basically, we're doing this little podcast thing to let everybody know more and learn about cryptocurrency and Firo, our sponsor of the day, as you can see. Right, so I am a beginner. I actually don't know much about crypto other than just like watching those crypto videos on it doesn't really work. I don't know why for me.
Yeah, it's just like Bitcoin goes up, laser eyes.
Yeah, so if you're in my position, someone who doesn't know anything much about crypto and wants to learn together, well, we have we have an expert here. We have an expert here and a newbie here, so we'll go through this process together. So yeah, welcome to Firo with friends, or maybe make it singular. Friend.
And this is totally unscripted. We don't have any plans. We just like playing off, and so she will just ask whatever questions, hopefully that you guys would also be wondering. It's going to be very introductory. There's a lot of misunderstanding about cryptos. Also, if you have any ideas of any questions of your own, you can also leave it in the comments and we will answer as well. So Puds, what do you actually know about crypto so far?
I know that people buy Bitcoin and then get rich. And then okay, so basically it's some kind of encrypted currency. Something like it runs on the blockchain, so everything is private.
No, that's not true.
Huh, really?
Yeah, actually everything on the blockchain is transparent.
Yeah, it's transparent, but like you don't really know like who is buying it, right?
Oh, okay, let's start from basics. What do you know about blockchain?
Blockchain is like a code, right? It's like a
technology.
It's like a series of codes and yeah.
Okay, all right. Maybe let's kind of start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin was like the first cryptocurrency, and it was also the first blockchain. It was launched, I think, in January 2009, and the first block actually said "Chancellor on the brink of second bailout of banks." And the whole idea was that Satoshi. Everyone has heard this name. A lot of people think that it's some weird Japanese fella. No one actually knows who Satoshi is, whether it's one person or a collective of people. But he or she, well, let's just call it he just for
they them
for convenience sake. The idea was that he wanted like an alternative form of money. He called it like P2P cash. It means peer-to-peer digital cash. And Bitcoin was, I guess, the first idea behind it, because he was kind of sick of banks and governments constantly printing money. This is a problem.
Alright,
yeah.
so soft inflation or something.
Not really inflation, but the money was being printed, and then the money was being channeled to bail out banks, and the whole problem was kind of caused by banks and their fractional reserve banking. Do you know what fractional reserve banking is?
No.
Okay, so
they don't teach that in school.
They don't. Yeah, it's an illusion. So fractional reserve banking is the basis of our banking system. So when you put money into a bank, let's say I deposit $100,000 into the bank. Just think about it, from long time ago. Usually, why people had banks, because they didn't want to store their stuff at home, right? The bank was supposed to keep their things safe, right? But just imagine if I put $100,000 into the bank. The bank, first of all, gives me a little bit of interest, but loans out 95% of it.
Oh, right.
Right?
Yeah.
So he loans my money out 95%, right? Now what happens if I want my deposit back? Then they have to find other people to use their money to pay me back, right?
That's how banks work now.
That's how banks work, but can you imagine, because with that person's money, 95% is being rent. Now they only have to keep about 5% actually. And just imagine, what does that person do with that money that he just loaned? He may also put it into a bank. And then that bank then loans out 95% of it and keeps 5%. So there is a multiplier effect.
I see. What if there's some economy crash and then...
Exactly, right? Because so there's this concept of what we call bank run, right? Where if everyone starts asking for their money, obviously the bank does not have enough money to give it back to you, right? Which is why there's insurance and all this type of things. That is one problem, but I guess one of the big problems is that, when the government can just print money out of thin air. A lot of people think, money is backed with gold. No, it's actually backed by, I guess, like the people's belief in the strength of the country's economy, right? There's nothing really else kind of backing it, right? There's no gold reserves or anything. It's just like, how much can I get away by printing? Because if I print too much, then the rest will the value drops, right? But the US dollar, as kind of like this global currency of the world, have been printing at an unprecedented rate, right? And then who benefits? Do we get it? No, it's the banks, it's the all these big institutions that benefit from this additional money supply. So I guess cryptocurrency was seen as an alternative financial system that was not to be controlled by any one person. So even Satoshi himself, he doesn't get any special rights to generate money for himself.
Right.
So I think that was like the basis of cryptocurrency, and blockchain is the tag that makes this all possible. Okay, maybe we stop here.
Okay.
I don't know if that was a lot.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Did that make sense to you?
Okay, let's say like you have money. Okay, like in Malaysia, right? Most of the money is like centralized, right? With like Bank Negara.
Yes, correct.
So like, what if you have like a huge influx of like crypto, and then how are you gonna convert that crypto into like cash, for usage?
Right.
Doesn't it like suddenly like you have like 200k coming into your account and you'll be like, yo, what's going on here?
I mean, that is the case. Obviously they are already, I would say, semi-established rules for. There's nothing wrong with if, let's say, I bought something and it goes up a lot, right? And I'm not an active trader and whatnot. As long as I can prove that I bought the Bitcoin, maybe I have an exchange record or something like that, and it went up, and then I find some sort of P2P method or an exchange to convert it into ringgit, and I put it into the bank. If the bank asks me, where do you get this money from? I said, well, I bought the Bitcoin here, the price went up a lot and I sold it. They can't, it's totally legal, right? It's the problem is that a lot of people who got in really early, the exchanges they bought them from may not have very good records, or the exchange might not exist anymore. Then it becomes a bit trickier. That means you have to show the history, because remember in Bitcoin, the history is permanent and you can see the movement of the coins from its very beginning as well. So there's nothing wrong with, showing that. It's just that obviously the bank's going to ask questions. If you had like 50,000 and suddenly you have $1 million inside,
right.
Yeah,
it's like way too much.
Correct, yeah. Oh, well, you can also convert a little bit, right?
So it's technically possible.
It's possible. It's totally legal. There's nothing wrong. There's always this, misconception that crypto is illegal and stuff like that. I mean, especially like in Malaysia, they are regulated crypto exchanges,
like
right?
Luno,
Yeah,
right?
Luno is the biggest one. There's like MX and some others. Of course, Luno, I guess, is the most user-friendly.
But there's one that is banned, right? The Binance.
Binance is the largest exchange in the world. It is banned. It is still actually very used in Malaysia.
Why is it banned if it's legal?
Because Malaysia actually came up with a set of regulations to say that if you want to be a registered exchange in Malaysia, you have to go down this route. And that means apply for a license, do all these things, lots of checks.
There's a lot of paperwork.
A lot of paperwork. And I think Malaysia for the moment is not a big enough market for them to pursue that route. So there's only like a handful of regulated exchanges in Malaysia, like maybe 5 licensees, but maybe only 3 that are actually very active. I actually tried to launch a Malaysian regulated exchange, and it was a lot of work, and you would be bleeding money for many years.
Years?
Yes, years, because you have so much regulatory compliance. You cannot, just imagine you launch an exchange and then you can't accept customers until you have all these things in place and all the paperwork in place.
So everything has to be paid for.
So you need to pay first and hope that you will get the
licensing.
Not only the licensing, but the users, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And the regulation constantly changes. So yeah, it's not easy. It's something like that I gave up.
Okay.
I'm very glad that I did, but yeah, this is like the current situation in Malaysia. It's
I
not
see.
wrong. It's good to have, I would say, trusted, regulated exchanges.
I see. So what if like let's say your investment goes up with like Bitcoin and then you have like 200K coming in, is that money taxable? Is it considered profit?
So I'm not a tax expert, but capital gains tax, that means when you buy something low and then it goes up high, when you realize those gains, there's no capital gains tax in Malaysia. Now there's a different type of capital gains tax, but it's not for crypto gains and all these type of things. That only applies if you're not an active trader. So let's say if like every day you buy and sell, then that becomes your job.
Right.
And that becomes income, so that you will be charged income tax.
How would they know if you're active or not?
Because they'll say, oh, all this money, then they'll see the history going in and out, going in
If
and
you're
out.
doing this, like they will see if it's very daily.
Yeah, like for example, Luno, they have all your transaction history. I guess like, if inland revenue comes by and say like, hey, how can you justify how you made this money? And then you show them these pages and pages of trade, they'll be like, this looks like you're an active trader. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because you want to be very easy to say like, okay, I bought here and I sold there. Not like bought here, sell there, buy there, sell there. But a lot of people actually buy and sell and don't really think about tax, right? And then it becomes a challenge to enforce. Obviously, this is something that tax authorities are they're just starting to get into it. There hasn't been a real, I would say, clamp down on this type of things, but it's going to come sooner or later. So it's good to start thinking about this type of things.
I see. If I want to invest into crypto, how do I start? Like, do I just buy a Bitcoin? Okay, I know Bitcoin is like super expensive, but like, what is the process like?
So there's a very common misconception. Everyone's like, oh, I cannot buy a Bitcoin. A Bitcoin is 70,000 US dollars. How can I afford that, right? But that doesn't really matter because you can buy 0.00001.
Yeah, you can buy like a mini fraction
Yeah,
of it.
a mini fraction of it. And it doesn't make it worth less. It's just a number, right?
Yeah.
So like a lot of people go for like the cheaper coins, but you have to realize like, 100,000 rupiah or like it's not the same as like, 100,000 ringgit. So don't look at it just on the unit value.
Right.
You can, no matter how much, and again, this is not financial advice, I think just a warning, crypto is very, very volatile. It can go up and go down really quickly.
I heard a lot of stories, like horror stories, like crypto people like losing like, tens and millions.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that is common, but that means you have to make sure that whatever money that you put in, make sure that you're willing to lose it, I guess. Like, at least have that mindset.
So is it gambling considered?
It's not really gambling. Like, buying something like Bitcoin or Ethereum, which are like very established and whatnot, if you believe in the space, if it's like part of a diversification, why not? It is an up and coming sector. But obviously you have to take your risk, right? Like if I buy like Top Glove, like some rubber glove stocks, the stock also goes up and down. You just have to be responsible and I guess invest in something that at least you know a little bit about, right? So that you are comfortable.
I guess you gotta
with
judge
the risk.
like how like the market's going for like the specific item and like the economic environment.
Yeah, I mean like you don't want to invest in something that you don't understand. So at least you kind of like get a basic idea, and I guess this is kind of like why we are doing this.
I see.
So like back to your question, how to buy a Bitcoin,
like how
right?
do you just make an account and then
so
press some buttons?
It depends on the country that you're in. Obviously we have a global audience. In Malaysia here, we just go to a regulated exchange, all right? And then you can just directly deposit ringgit and then just buy Bitcoin on the exchange.
Right, I did try with Luno, like not sure what I was doing.
Yeah.
Then I just realized all the money gone and I was like,
all the money gone?
I should stop here. Yeah. No, I put like 50 ringgit in. Next day I checked, it was like 30. I was like,
the
boy.
price went up and down. Well, it's not gone, it's just that the Bitcoin price fluctuated, right? But obviously there are also other options. Obviously check in your country what is legal or not, because not all countries have a regulated exchange,
right?
Or some they have the regulated exchange but there's no liquidity. That's very hard to buy like in any significant amount. So usually what happens is that people will find P2P methods to buy USDT, which is like stablecoin.
Stablecoin, yeah.
So it's not stable. It's like basically it's pegged. It's supposed to be a coin that is backed by US dollars sitting in some bank account, and it's kind of like a proxy to US dollars. And why USDT is great is because you don't need a bank account. Because of US dollars, you need a bank account. You need to be in the country, and nowadays it's not that easy to open a bank account. But I guess this is one of the benefits of crypto, right? I just create an address. Anyone can create an address. I back up the wallet, and I can receive USDT, Ethereum, all sorts of different things. Or I can create a Bitcoin wallet just by myself. So obviously you have those regulated exchanges.
So basically regulated exchange, you just like tap of a button like 50 buy.
Yeah, you deposit your money into the exchange and then you buy the Bitcoin. Now, very important to note is that when you buy the Bitcoin on a centralized exchange, you don't actually hold control of that Bitcoin. It's like a bank. They are holding it for you, right? So if the exchange goes bust, you also lose that money.
Oh, really?
Right. Obviously, if it's a regulated exchange, there should be some checks and balances and insurance, but do you really want to go there, right? So one way is to just buy the Bitcoin, and then you create your own wallet, and then you withdraw the Bitcoin into your own wallet.
So that's the unregulated?
No, it's not. It's not unregulated. It's just more like self-custody.
Oh, can that be done by the regulated platform?
Yes, you can do that. So let's say you buy the Bitcoin on Luno, or let's say some regulated exchange, you can withdraw it to your own wallet, which now you are totally responsible for, which has pros and cons. Because if you lost your wallet, you forgot, you didn't back up. Like there was one time I actually forgot the password to my wallet, and I was like, so much money in there, and I was like, I had to meditate until I remember the password. So make sure you have good practices so it's like literally be your own bank. That means
But how do you do that?
What do you mean, how do you do that?
Like
you just create a wallet on your phone or on your desktop computer, or you can buy most safe is a hardware wallet.
Huh?
Yeah.
There's such thing?
Yeah, it's a hardware wallet. I didn't bring it with me.
You guys know about this hardware wallet?
So a hardware wallet is great because when you create a Bitcoin account or cryptocurrency wallet, there's a set of private keys, and whoever has that private key can spend your money, right? So obviously you are the only one who should have that private key.
Wait, is there an app for the wallet or something?
Yeah, there's many apps like Trust Wallet, there's a Stack Wallet, there's many different kinds of wallets that you can download.
Wait, but let's say you buy on Luno already, then you put it in your wallet. How will it grow?
No, it's just like you hold the Bitcoin, and the price goes up, then you deposit it back into Luno to sell it.
Because there's also a wallet in Luno itself,
Yeah, so
but that's the Luno own.
Yes.
Alamak.
So for total newbies, sometimes it's just okay lah. If it's just a small amount of money, couple of 100 ringgit, 50 ringgit, just put it with Luno, right? Why bother with being your own bank when you only have 50 ringgit or so?
So it's like this kind of stuff lah, like iToken secure crypto wallet.
Something like
stuff
that.
Like this.
Yeah. So remember, I think some of you may have heard this exchange called FTX.
This is the one that crashed?
Yeah, basically the exchange by this Sam Bankman-Fried, he was like, the most generous billionaire in the world, and all these Nas Daily and all these people were covering him, right? And basically he was using customers' funds that in the exchange to go and gamble with it. He recently was sentenced to 25 years in jail, so great. But
how much money did he mess with?
Billions. You're talking about billions.
Billions and only 25 years?
Yeah. So some people say too lenient. But the thing was, the exchange was generating millions every day just in fees.
Alright.
And what he was also doing was that he was looking at how people were buying and front-running them. That means you see, you're gonna buy, I jump in and cut queue. So he had all those advantages and making so much money, and yet it was not enough. He decided to use customer funds to go and gamble and buy other things as well. He became a bank. In a way, he used customers' money like it was his, right?
Okay.
I also lost a lot of money on FTX. I placed my money inside there, thinking it was safe. Like Temasek, which is like Singapore's investment arm, government investment arm, put in like few $100 million. I think maybe $100 million to invest in this company. Thought should be Singapore.
Did Singapore lose money?
Yeah, they lost money, but
Okay.
I think
Taylor Swift got it back for them.
they're likely to get it back though. They're getting preferential treatment. but as you see, you put your money there, the exchange collapsed, gone.
So how do you choose a good exchange?
I mean, that's why
You
you
wouldn't
pick
know, right?
the regulated one, you try it.
USDT
I mean, USDT is still a token in itself. And USDT, you should not also keep too much. It's still subject to regulation.
Why is it so tricky?
It's very
It feels
tricky.
like so difficult.
So I mean, that's why if you just want the thing, just buy the cryptos that you want. Don't talk about USDT, right? USDT is like kind of like you want to buy this and that and do a lot of things. That's your gateway into everything else. Start something with Bitcoin, Ethereum, you can just go to Luno, you only have a few options, but you want to buy other stuff.
This is the kids level investing, right?
Yeah, like kids level.
Wait, so how did you like personally learn all this stuff to like do all this?
So I actually ran a VPN service called Bole VPN back in...
VPN?
Yeah.
VPN?
Yeah.
And this is the part of the video,
Not
the YouTube
VPN.
video that Just like, hey, are you experiencing a lack of privacy in your browsing data? Use VPN!
Well, I'm no longer part of that, but back in 2007, VPNs were very new,
Right.
and although it was 100% legal, a lot of...
It is?
It is legal.
It's still legal, right?
Yeah, still legal. I mean, like everyone's
But
using
people
it.
use it to do the most illegal things.
Not all of it are illegal things.
Mostly, right?
No lah.
Like,
when I go to a public Wi-Fi hotspot, I'm going to turn my VPN. I don't want people to intercept my
oh,
traffic.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's like considered as protection. I mean, like it's a tool. You can use it for good and
I think
bad.
like the general people, they probably just use it to watch,
Oh, those sort of thing. You can do that even without VPN with DNS.
Oh, change the DNS only,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At least in Malaysia.
So what happened after VPN?
So what actually happened was I was doing a legit business. I was accepting credit card payments and all these sort of things. We had a payment processor. I think it was iPay88. I think it's still around
that
now.
one?
Yeah. But then the banks were like, no, we are not comfortable with you doing VPN business. And they shut me off. So I couldn't accept. You actually can like Google my name and you'll find it somewhere. Bole VPN, Reuben and that sort of thing. And what actually happened, I was cut off from all this ability to accept payments with credit card. PayPal was also an option, but then they were charging 3.4% and 50 US dollar cents for every single transaction. So it was like, I'm getting 10 ringgit and then straight away, 3 ringgit gone immediately, right? Just to payment processors. And even PayPal also, sometimes they will freeze my account and tell me to justify my business.
Wow, I see it.
You saw it, right?
Yeah. Bole VPN's credit card cutoff highlights privacy payment issues.
Yeah, so this was what was the date of that?
2014.
2014.
Yo, I just formed once, yeah.
Yeah.
You're so old.
So yeah, after that, when I went through that, I was like, hey, I'm doing a legal business. Why am I being subject to this, the whims and fancies of like financial institutions? If I'm doing something illegal, I understand, but I'm doing something legal. They cut me off and I was like, maybe I should find a different way to accept payments. So someone said, hey, why don't you try this Bitcoin thing? I'm like, okay, let's try. And this was like back in like 2012, 2013.
Oh, so Bole VPN still running?
Bole VPN is still running. I have nothing to do with Bole VPN now. I've already let go everything.
But did people actually pay for Bole VPN with crypto?
Yes, we were getting almost daily transactions. People were paying using Bitcoin, Dash, a couple of other cryptocurrencies.
Whoa.
So it was quite impressive. I think we were probably the first merchant in Malaysia that was accepting crypto on I would say quite a large scale basis.
I see.
Yeah, and that time there was no regulated exchange in Malaysia, so I had to find someone in Singapore that was willing to buy it and convert it into ringgit. That was like very ad hoc. Obviously now we have nice exchanges to use, but back then was kind of a bit of like Wild West.
That's crazy though. Like people back then actually 2014 already started buying Bitcoin in Malaysia.
Yeah, I mean some people
Like that's
even
quite
earlier.
woke of them.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really interesting experience, and I felt like back then the concept, like it wasn't. Of course, people were like, "Let's get rich," obviously, right? But a lot of it was driven by like, "Wow, this tech is really interesting. It's solving a real problem." Like, you know, you try to do a Swift payment, it takes like 3 business days to go over. I'm doing this
instant.
Yeah, it's like magic internet money, not like a
Magic
couple of
internet
it felt really revolutionary, and it felt like I was being part of a movement. Obviously now, you know, things are a bit different.
Mainstream now.
Sound like an old man, but yeah.
So you learn everything yourself?
Yeah, I learned most of it. I mean, I'm a lawyer by training. I was a lawyer for 10 years.
Yeah, but in law school they don't teach you
Yeah,
how
they
to
don't
buy
teach any
Bitcoin.
of this.
They don't teach you how to
But-
make informed decisions.
I mean, they didn't even teach me how to do VPNs, right? But
Yeah.
you know, we have the internet, you have community members, and I think, you know, we're very blessed that you want to learn anything, you can actually learn it online, and there
So
are
you're
lots.
quite Rajin lah.
No, Rajin is one way to put it, but I was genuinely interested.
Wow. Feels like I could do it.
Yeah, you can do it, but you went through a different path.
What path?
TikTok path and all of this.
What if, like, you know, 5 years down the road, I'm like a full-time trader?
No,
And then
when you become a full-time trader, I know it's time to exit the market.
Wow! Okay, I took that quite personally.
It's true though, everyone's like, oh, I'm a full-time trader. I'm like, it's time to get out of the market. Because in a bull market, everyone's a genius.
And then when it goes down, everyone's
Yeah, like, oh,
like a dumbass
okay,
lah.
go find job again.
Oh yeah, that's true though. I do see a lot of that, people.
Especially your generation as well.
A bit older than my generation.
Maybe one generation of them.
No, like my generation plus 5 years. 28, 29, 30, like that
Yeah,
category.
that category.
So you are?
I'm 41.
Oh, so you're out of the category, right?
Yeah, a bit old uncle already.
Anyways, to conclude this episode, so this is what we all learned today. Bitcoin is the first coin created by this guy called Satoshi.
It's not guys.
Not they, them, Satoshi.
No one knows who.
It is public, everyone can see all the transactions.
Yes.
It is instant.
Not instant, but
Magic money on the internet,
magic
right?
money.
You can send Bitcoin to people, it's instant instead of using Swift payments. In Malaysia, there are 2 ways to buy Bitcoin or any coin, regulated or non-regulated method. Regulated is with the license stuff, right?
That is the recommended. Like, if you're totally new to crypto, just go down the
Yeah.
regulated method. And of course, if you're not in Malaysia, go find a local one that does it.
So some of it is like Luno and what else?
I'm not very familiar. I think the MX Global is another
Yeah,
one. But let's start with
you can just
Luno.
like find.
Yeah.
And the unregulated one is
unregulated one is that you have to find USDT first.
Yeah. And usually they do it on Binance, right?
Binance, a couple of other exchanges, but technically it's not supposed to be found operating in Malaysia.
Yeah, so to keep it legal, it's unregulated.
Oh, no, it is regulated. It's
Huh?
just,
Is it regulated?
it is regulated.
Oh, sorry. It's
Not very good.
Okay, no. Let me just like rewind it. They're all regulated, right?
I mean, one is like the official regulated method.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you want to do
the safest option.
that's the safest option.
Right.
But then obviously, if you want to buy more exotic crypto, which are not available on Luno or this other stuff, you need to go through the other road, which is to get USDT or some other thing.
and do it all on Binance, right?
Or some other exchange.
Or some other exchange.
Yeah. We are not promoting any exchange.
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then later on, Reuben's backstory, VPN, to getting into crypto, and at the end of the day, what was the last thing we talked about?
I mean, the main idea is that we just want to tell you, like, you know, what is cryptocurrency supposed to be, right? And you know, the difference between storing your own keys on an exchange or keeping your own keys with a hardware wallet, a mobile wallet, or a desktop.
Oh yeah,
wallet.
that's the tips, right? Oh, I remember what's the last part already. I want to be a full-time trader.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if parts
guess-
because a full-time trader, it's time to get out.
I mean, at least we know like there are some risks to it, you know. So this is not like you buy it and become rich fast kind of thing.
yeah.
Takes a lot of learning, a lot of research, right? Like Reuben's research, He went to law school, bro. You didn't go to like some sketchy online
They are
trading
actually
course, right?
online courses
Oh
by...
shit, you did? Did
No,
you
no,
go?
I didn't do.
Oh, you didn't do it.
But there are online courses by MIT and all these places.
okay.
They're all free online.
I thought you were gonna say like those YouTube ads that pop up like,
no,
hey, do you want to get rich
Yeah,
fast?
don't.
Don't. Yeah, don't.
So I guess in the next episode, I guess we'll be talking a little bit about
Firo, so,
right?
yep.
And other kind of cryptocurrencies besides Bitcoin. There's a lot of interesting things that can be done.
So hope you all crypto babies learn something with me today.
Yeah.
Or if this is too baby for you, then just skip to the next episode. But also give this video a like
And subscribe.
Okay, so this wraps up the first episode of Firo with Friends. I'm Puds and this is Reuben Yap. He's been yapping this whole time. And we will continue to yap more in the next episode, so you can look for it like somewhere there.
Yes. Bye.